the 3-level formula to get clients faster, to convert faster. By the end of this video, you will know what level you're at. You will know how to diagnose your level and speed up your level. You will know how to use your level to the best of your ability to convert clients like you've never converted before. With that, let's rock and roll and talk about level 1. You're starting out, meaning you have less, or you've worked with less than 30 clients, 30 to 50. And everyone understands that stories sell, facts tell. And so everyone is focusing, or should focus, on storytelling, meaning you either tell your story about the obstacles, the challenges you overcame, the results you got, or you tell your clients the stories about how they came to you, what problem they had, how you helped them, what you helped them achieve, what their goal was, and how quickly they got to the goal, what they did to get to the goal. The better, the higher the quality of your story, not facts. The higher the quality of your story, the faster your ideal audience will see themselves in your story and want to work with you. What's the key here? The key here is that this level of content creation, this level of posts or videos or reels or whatever you do, is very tactical. So it's very before and after. Before, overweight. After, lost weight. Before, panic attacks, anxiety. After, happy life, calm, cool, collected. It's very tactical. It's driven a lot by processes and things you did and modalities, so on and so forth. And it needs to be there because people understand this better. People can see themselves in stories. People can see themselves desiring your mechanism and wanting to work with you. That's level 1. Level 2 is where you've usually between 30 to 100 clients, you've worked with enough people to start to see patterns in those people. For example, I work with a lot of action takers. I can predict an action taker's journey like the back of my hand. I can predict the problems they're going to have. I can predict the way they're going to think. There's 2 extremes. I can predict what energetic type people will do. I can also predict what extremely left-brain logical people will do. Why? Because I work with hundreds of them. To me, it's like the writing on the wall. And so at level 2, your ability to convert clients now depends on 2 things, because you want to do more and faster. Your stories, you will still do stories, but your stories should not only include what you've done for yourself and what you've done for your clients, but also the overarching patterns and the overarching problems and the overarching issues that present themselves in the various people you work with. This establishes you more as a subject matter expert. It gives you more credibility. It adds more credence to your words. It adds more weight to what you're saying because you work with more people. And so you now want to speak at 2 levels. The first level is the tactical level, meaning before and after, my client was suffering from this, we did that, I just made X amount of money, here's what I did, so on and so forth. But the next level you want to speak to is the overarching patterns you see in people. And this is often where a lot of our mechanisms and our IPs are created. So for example, one of my IPs is Magnetic Marketing Matrix. Another one of my IPs is the 3R framework. The 3R framework is designed for each of the 3 Rs, Aristotle's, proficient copywriting rules, which is respect, resonance, rationale. Meaning, before people buy from you, they need to respect you. Before people buy from you, they need to resonate with what you're saying. And before people buy from you, your rationale needs to make sense to them. Ethos, pathos, logos. Who you are, how you make people feel, whether they believe what you're saying, whether the things you say carry weight. Now, I could only have understood this after working with hundreds of people, because I saw the patterns, because I see some people are high in respect. They're really respected, they're very authoritative, but their audience find them intimidating, meaning there's less resonance. People don't resonate with them. On the other hand, we have people who are high resonance, high pathos. They make people feel great about them, but they often end up in the friend zone because they're not seen as authoritative enough. And so my IP or my mechanism allows me to diagnose these people and immediately fix their content. But I wouldn't have arrived at this IP had I not worked with hundreds of people. And so the second level is a combination of the tactics you do as well as the mechanisms that help you fix the overarching problems that your people have. If you're an expert who's been around the block, who's been playing the game for, let's say, 2 to 5 years, you should be at this level. If you're not, maybe you're not paying attention to the patterns, or you've worked with anybody and everybody with a heartbeat and a credit card, and so you've got a plethora of completely unrelated problems, and you're unable to see the patterns, the overarching patterns in those problems. And I'm also going to give you the mistakes people made. So the mistake that people at level 2 can make is they only speak about patterns. No. You also want to speak about the outcomes. You also want to give examples again and again of yourself and your clients and how the mechanism or the big picture IP or the big thing that you talk about translated tactically into the story of a client win or your win. And this is where people can go wrong. They can either stay stuck in the mechanisms, meaning create highly clickbaity content, cheat sheet, template, who wants my free prompt? AI prompts are big right now. Who wants my free? But they don't talk about the mechanism. So they lose out on people seeing them as an authority. They stay the person who has the secret AI prompt or the secret, hack or the secret whatever, but they're not seen as high-level authority. So it's got to be a mix of not just the outcomes, not just the tactics, but also the IP. The third level, and this comes with hundreds of clients, is where you've been at level 2 long enough and you've created your IP like I have. The third level is where you can see outside of your niche, outside of your industry, completely unrelated areas. You can look at art, you can look at sport, you can look at philosophy, take the learnings from there, synthesize those learnings, and distill and apply them back to your niche. This is where you become the go-to authority. You become the key opinion leader. You become the subject matter expert. You become what is known as a thought leader, because now you're capable of taking things that are completely unrelated, synthesizing them, and applying them to areas that are related. And so now your content needs to speak on 3 levels, which is what mine does. 1, you talk about that high level, which becomes then your philosophy, your overarching approach, your way, your view of the world, linked to then the tactical things that they translate into, which then allow you to create beautiful, compelling stories of how you help someone achieve a certain goal. The mistake people make here is they can get too lost in their philosophy, and so they only speak about philosophy. Here's how I see the world. Here's how things should be. But then who cares? Like, tell me why and how you use whatever cool philosophies you have, your ethos, the respect people have for you, into something that helps the people you work with, which then requires your IP, explanation of your mechanism, your big picture, your process, your pillars, and then the tactics of people at that level. Another mistake people can make is get caught up in one of the levels when they've clearly outgrown the level themselves. So think about and tell me which level you think you're at. Think about and tell me, what do you enjoy creating the most? Do you enjoy creating tactical content the most, meaning I had this, I helped them with this, and now they're here? Or do you enjoy talking about, raving about your IPs, which is something I enjoy. I can go on for days and weeks and years talking about magnetic marketing, 3R framework, millionaire mindset. These are all things I feel very passionately about. Or the philosophy, meaning your overarching view of the world. And when you nail these 3 and the balance of these 3 in your content, you not only become the subject matter expert and the go-to authority, but people flock to you in droves because they are pre-sold and pre-convinced that you are the person to help them. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope this helps you out of here. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.